today we're going to be getting into some of my top base locations for Soulmask. We're talking really good for resources, space, and all sorts. So let's get into it. At number 1, we have this sweet little location down here near a couple of tin mines. It is full of, wow, there's loads of creatures around here, loads of tapir. There is, yeah, like I said, 10 mines. You can pop down a bonfire wherever you like. You might need to put like some foundations down to level it out. It's decently flat, but it does have a little bit of an incline. If you wanted to, you could pop down a bonfire around here. For a map reference, we're looking right here on the map, and the reason I like it is because, one, you got 2 tin deposits. That's really good. Then you got your salt. The only thing you need to do is travel up a bit north to get your copper resources, or you could go over to the western side to pick yourself some copper. You are also near this lovely little plunderer camp over here where you can farm copper and their resources and chests. It might be really good for if you want some masks and stuff like that. And you got a couple of elite jaguars up and down here, and there is a alligator each side as well. So yeah, there's a few nice bits in this location, so if you wanted to make use out of it, this is number 1. For location number 2, I am actually based here with my beginner starter base here. Now, I just keep coming back to this location. I can't stop myself, and I go several places on this plane because this area is so incredibly flat in many places along the way. It is just so neat to put a base on. Now, you do have a scout camp over that way, but there's just so much flat space over in this area. I love it for starting in. It is so helpful and handy. But let's have a look on the map at things nearby. Number 1, you're near a Claw Tribe barrack, which is really good because I can farm all the people there, get laborers and stuff like that to help me at my camp and farm those for good stats. I can get copper here. I do have to go for a little walk for tin, but that's only down the river. Speaking of the river, that's just there. That's no problem to get clay. And I'm not that far away from the portal, which I always find a really nice thing to be near. My next location, we move up to the hill because this is an area that's in between lots of really good stuff, if you can put up with the wolfy neighbors. Either way, there's a nice little flat spot here you can make use of and put a nice little base here. Let's have a little map look around. So number 1 with this spot, you're near water, but you're also really near this barbarian barrack camp that has veggies in the bottom of it, tons of people to tame. Really handy, you can get laborers and everything there. Another thing is you're not far away from resources, so in the south you have loads of tin that you could go and get, and in the north you got your copper, so you could go farming copper up here, and then if you really wanted later game you can get sulfur on the side as well, which is nice. And a little further up you got some phosphate too. That's kind of nice. That's all pretty local, and you're going to see you in between a few of these ancient ruins as well that you might be able to get some green gem from. Handy. And then you have the salt pans over here with tribe people in it as well if you need salt for cooking. So it's actually a really solid spot. And not only that, you have a mysterious portal, hill portal, not that far away either. So if you wanted a nice flat spot to base that's near a lot of really good things, not too far away, then I actually really like this location. It's actually a really solid one to put a base in. The only problem is natural defense against something like a raid, and that is where you would probably need locations like we're about to talk about in a minute if that's something you are interested in. It's either that or just putting defenses around your base is never a problem. My next location might take some building expertise to flatten out the land, but it's pretty good. You can either build on this flat bit here, or if you wanted natural raid defense, you could go up this big bad boy with a little pathway here. Right, so you can see you could build up here. It gets flatter as we go up, so there you go, very nice. You could have a base up here. You might want to flatten it out a little bit. This bit's a bit more flat up here, but there is tons of room on this top flat bit. So you got the redwoods down below. You can farm elephants for XP. Nearly nice. You can see this space is huge. It does get a bit like rocky over here. This is where I'd probably want a foundation over things or plan around it. I'll probably live over that side a bit more than this one because it is lumpy, but it is really nice because you have that one entrance and the raiders will not be able to go up any other ones, which is always a nice thing. Again, over here as well, just across the river, there's iron deposit here, which is kind of nice to farm. Loads of iron nodes in this location. You're not too far away from the barracks over here as well, which has veggies and lots of nice higher level NPCs to tame The Redwoods is here. You're also not far away from this barbarian barrack up here, which is also quite nice for taming NPCs. And you're pretty much in the middle of several different biomes. So you have access to this biome, access to the Redwoods, access to the desert, and you're not that far away from the pathway up to the snow either. The only thing you struggle with really is being far away from a portal, being the safest one, the Wetlands one down here. Or if you're higher level and you want a spicier experience, you could always use the plateau one if you really wanted to. My next base location is quite interesting on this list, and it has loads of natural protection, to the point that you might actually need to build a ladder up to it or some kind of stairwell. But the way you can get up to it in the beginning is just by, well, either walking up the wall to it, or you could use, well, you're probably gonna have to use some foundations. So here we are, we're at the top of the tower. You can see we've got this nice bit of flat land up here that you could build a base on. You could either have it like the ceilings going off the sides as well if you really wanted to. But once you're up here, it's a stunning view. It is honestly so pretty up here. Absolutely beautiful. Having a look at the map right here, we're on this little bit here. We're right near a portal, which one is a massive bonus. Number two, we're near a salt ore mine, which is really good for cooking later on. You're going to need to visit that quite a few times. We're near coal. You can level up with some coal. Use that for your base as well. Near some elites for farming, some beasts to get some green gem. And you're not that far away from this really cool barbarian fortress, which is really good for farming. It has veggies in it. It has NPCs and farmers and everything. It's a pretty decent location. That, and your biggest thing up here is, well, safety, I suppose, would be the best one. And then you just have to build like some staircase up, or, I mean, you could climb up every time if you wanted to, but I really wouldn't. But, you know, each to their own. The only thing I would say is it's far away from like metal farming. But again, you can always use this portal to go and get that type stuff if you need be. You're not too far away from Volcano, you're near Wetlands, you're near the Highlands, which you can get lots of llamas at. But I just thought I'd mention it. I quite like this area over here. It's very peaceful and beautiful, and this little spot might, you know, do it for you. I don't know. Hopefully you enjoy. Just before the sun sets, let's go over my next base location being up here. Now, I really like this spot because one reason, it's really flat. You're near some, well, some evil things is the only problem. The birds, but they're good to farm, and you got bears in the area. If you move more towards over here though, it's not such an issue having that. But lovely flat space, that is the main perk of this area. That, and you're not that far from this land bridge. So over here, around about here, you have a land bridge that goes down to the bottom of the cliff. So in this location, you can go down, you get your copper, you get your tin quite easily if you need to. And you're kind of in the middle of the map, meaning you can go and get iron not too far away, or be in access of the snow as well. You're kind of in the middle of it all. You also got coal as well going around in the area as usual when you're up in this space. The only thing I would say in this location is you're kind of far away from taming things. I mean, you could go to this Claw Tribe barrack here if you wanted to, or you would have to go up to one of these ones, or the bigger ones. I mean, they're not that far away, if I'm honest with you. Not too far away from the wetland portal either, which is also a nice bonus. But I thought I'd mention it either way because it's a nice flat spot and I really do quite like it. My next location, I wanted to do one in this biome because I know it can be hairy at times, but there's actually a kind of nice peaceful lake spot in this dangerous volcano biome. So around this location, there is actually a little flat bit at the back you could build quite a nice big flat base on if you really wanted to. Or you could build one against this wall here, which would give you a nice natural defense wall right there. Let's have a look on the map. So we're over here by the volcano lake. You're not too far away from the volcano portal, which is always a bonus if you want to travel anywhere fast. Then you got like ancient ruins nearby. You're not too far away from iron. There's actually a really good barbarian camp here. Massive one you can go through to get stuff as well. Iron ore. You'll be in a high level area. You got phosphate up here as well, which is kind of nice. An iron pit there. You're not too far away from the big Flint Tribe fortress either, which is cool. And there's an entranceway up to the snow. just north of you if you want to access that point as well. But I like it because it's kind of just like, it's a nice little peaceful area from chaos. I will say in this biome there's loads of lions and stuff, and they can be really hard to deal with unless you got higher level armor. So I probably wouldn't go here until you got something like iron, or you're feeling brave and bronze. Let's just put it that way. Next base location is this lovely flat redwood spot, which enables you to also build up in the trees. So I like this spot because it's actually near some really good stuff, and it's a pretty central location. So we're here in the redwoods. You got a lot of creatures that give experience being here. You're kind of near an outcast ruin for green crystal, near an elite giant elephant, which is amazing experience and hide. And you got a few other amenities here as well. You got an iron location right here. You have a really good iron location right here, which makes it really easy to farm iron early on. You got a big camper claw trap. You can go and get people from here. You are also near the salt, and you have easy access to desert or snow from either side. You can also go into the Highlands as well. Nice peaceful location. Maybe a good spot to start up. It's pretty calm around here as well once you actually get to this location. There are wolves and boars and stuff like this in the redwood forest though, so be careful, but you should be able to get here and settle quite easily once you do. This next base location is more on the low-key aesthetic spot. So we have this lovely little beach area with islands surrounding, so you have a cove all to yourself. You can build over the water here, which is quite cool, and it reaches down quite far, so if you wanted to, you could put it over the water a bit so people could have a little like fishing house there, or you have it over there. It's quite easy to build over water in this game, so it might be a nice little idea having that as a thing. You are near this big camp that you can utilize and train people from there. You're also kind of near the hill as well, so you can teleport, and you have access to copper in the area and tin. Maybe a nice little place to start out of, which is calm. You can also go to this area, the barbarian barracks salt pan up here as well if you really wanted to, and you're near a couple of salt pans as well, which is always nice. So you're in vicinity of starting resources quite easily, and then later on you could always dip into the volcano if you wanted to access the iron there and all things like that. I just thought it was a nice little mention if you want like a really chill, cool little base location. This spot is really beautiful, so maybe worth a go. This next base location is a place me and a friend set up just recently. It's actually quite a nice little spot. But what we did is we built on this midsection here with the lumpy bits of land, and we had a base over the water, which is actually really nice. Now it's near one of the coolest camps in the game, honestly. This camp is full of really good crafters and fighters and all sorts like that. And it's in quite a nice little spot. It has lovely views of the area, which is always a nice plus. And you can build a nice flat base here with foundations. We've experienced filling out the whole circle, and you can definitely do this in this area. Nice little area, nice little lake. You can do fishing and all that if you want to. Get some piranha. But yeah, this little spot, let's have a look. So here on the map it is, on this tiny bit that goes over. You're near an elite alligator, so you can go and farm that. Near bear. You've got a barbarian camp nearby. You're not too far away from some ruins where you can get some green crystal. The biggest sell here is definitely the fortress. That is a really good place to farm stuff out in. There's also iron up this way as well, a small little iron place with elite scorpion. Not too bad to get rid of those, honestly. It is poisonous though, so you might need some poison gear. Near phosphate, near salt, and you're not too far away from the wetlands portal, but you are a decent distance that you might want to use a mount, but you can use your feet as well if you really want to. I just thought it's a nice little area to share. Not only is it in quite a decent spot, you can access Volcano, Wetlands, Highlands, and you can also use this little road to go up into the snow biome as well later on if you really want to. My next location is a pretty little location in the south. It might be a pinch to get it though, depending if you're playing single player or on a server. I feel like on official it would probably be taken, so do bear that in mind. However, it is a nice little location you can get for like a starter base or something like that. So lovely little island. You got these trees you can build in as well up here, which is kind of nice near clay. Few very passive animals in the area as well, which is cool. Looking on our map, you can see it's right here. So quite a nice little spot. You can actually get a lot of green crystal down here as well, with all these ruins being so close by. really good place to farm green crystal. The nice spot about this as well is you're not too far away from Barbarian Barrack, Flint Tribe Camp as well, and you can get a lot of starter veggies and cotton here, which is a really nice fact. Just up here by the river as well is the portal, which is always nice to be close by to teleport to other regions if you like that type thing. So it's a nice little location. It's quite close to a few things. Good place to start out. I think it's pretty solid, honestly, and quite a pretty little location to be in as well. The only thing I would say about being in a location like this is you're a little further away from starter resources you might want, but you could always go out with your alpaca or something like that, bring it to a tin mine, do some tin mining, do some copper mining, and bring it back home. Next base location is somewhere kind of sneakier and not really where you'd see a lot of people passing through. And it's over this section of the volcano. It will be difficult to get to, but I guess if you're looking for hard to get to, then that is kind of the idea with it if you don't really want to be found. Now you can use a spot. You could also use that bit up there. That's pretty flat as well, that peninsula right there. But basically, let's have a look on the map. So we're here right on the edge of the volcano. Now the nice spot with this is you're near iron, you're near obsidian, like everywhere. You have sulfur and access. You're in a far corner of the map that you're probably not going to get lots of people passing through. So it may be a bit more ideal for like a PvP scenario or something like that. Only problem is getting over to the portal. I mean, it's just north of you, really. It's not too difficult to get over there. But yeah, it's definitely more of a out there place to be, higher level kind of area. You could also use this camp right here, up here, the Claw Tribe, to farm out NPCs. There are a few closer camps as well in the area if you can find them. Outcast leader, things like that. You can probably tame a few people, but ideally your biggest camp would probably be there. And there is actually a plunderer area as well. You can farm some really interesting endgame content stuff from as well, right in that location if that takes your interest. Thought I'd mention it as an unusual spot either way that is a bit flat and out of town. You could definitely make use of it if you wanted to live somewhere obscure. My next location is a really cool high up spot that I would use. It's very cool, very flat. The only problem is you might find some horned eagles up here, but if you do cover over their spawn spot, they should stop spawning. But the idea with this spot is, wow, it's really cool. It is really high up. It's probably actually going to be extremely difficult to get to. I think the best way to do it is probably going over from a spot. But I thought I'd mention it because someone creative might like it and think, hey, I'm going to have this really safe location up here. You could probably bridge over from there maybe, or even there. And there you go. There's your bridge spot you would want to go up on. You'd want to build a ladder up here to here. You'd have this extremely safe location up here. Once you got rid of the horned eagles, be absolutely fine. And then you could do your thing up here, build a safe little location, maybe a PvP base or something like that. And yeah, the only way people could be able to access you is by your own home-built stairs, I guess, if that is the idea you want. But really nice flat little top plateau location. Thought I'd mention it. If you don't really like that one as well, I guess you could probably live down on this bit as well. That's pretty decently flat as well. You could probably live quite cool up there too. Nice, and you got that little path into the jungle over there. Just a suggestion either way, so that may be interesting that somebody might want to try. You can build up here and all that good stuff, and it's quite a big location, so very nice. But either way, I think that's all my base locations today. Let me quickly show a map reference if I didn't already on this one as well. Nice copper spot there, just below. Nice little spot there. You could probably get to wherever you need to go from here. But nice little jungle plateau area. But yeah, if you like the video, let me know, give it a like, all that good stuff, and subscribe to the channel because there's going to be many more videos like this one. But anyway, thank you for watching, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!